If you're a runner, you do not have to do crunches, you do not have to do sit-ups to have a strong core. Having a strong core is more than just a six-pack. It's also working on lateral abdominals, your glutes, your low back stability, and even your pelvic floor. So today I'm going to show you some sneaky ways to strengthen your core, because believe it or not, when you're going through these strength movements during your strength workout, you should be addressing your core throughout majority of these exercises. So it doesn't have to be a thing where you finish your workout and then you have a 10-minute core workout. I've never done a 10-minute core workout, and I'm still a successful runner. I still help thousands of runners be successful with a strong core. So let me show you some sneaky ways you can address your core without those crunches, without those sit-ups, and without those 10-minute add-on core workouts. The first way you're gonna do this is by making your exercises unilateral, and you should be doing this if you are running anyways, so it's kind of a win-win because we run in a unilateral movement, so we should be strength training in a unilateral movement. Now pick a weight that's appropriate for you. I have a 15-pound weight here. I'm gonna place it on my shoulder, and this is just an example, so if you're used to doing squats with 2 weights on your shoulders, back squat, that's fine to do, but as an accessory lift, you can add in this exercise to work your core. Anytime we're doing a unilateral movement and we have weight on one side, we are using our abdominals, our obliques to stabilize. So if the weight's on the right side for me, I'm really using my left abdominals, my obliques to stabilize my trunk so I don't lean to the side. So one good exercise for this that I love to do is a squat to curtsy. So you're gonna squat down and then you're going to a curtsy lunge. This is just an example. Another example you could do are suitcase deadlifts. Instead of doing regular deadlifts with a barbell or 2 weights, again, nothing wrong with that. They're great for building strength, but as an accessory lift, you can do a suitcase deadlift. So you're holding the weight on one side, down and up. Again, weights on the right side. So I'm really working my left obliques, left abdominals. And I think it's important to note, my core is not like burning from being exhausted during these exercises, but it is teaching my body trunk stabilization. So I'm not leaning to one side or shifting my pelvis to one side just because the weight is pulling my body this way. The next way to add in some core work without even realizing it is to add in a rotation to your movements. Now, a lot of the time runners will think, oh, I'm just running forward, so I should only be doing these movements in the frontal plane. While they're not bad for you, obviously there's no exercise that's bad for you, it is a good idea to add in some rotation because your pelvis is rotating, your hips are rotating, your mid-back and your thoracic spine are rotating when you're running. So there is a lot of rotational components in the running form while you're running. So it's important to work on these rotational movements and control them. And while we're doing that, we're also working on our core strength, specifically our obliques. So what you're gonna do, if you're used to doing walking lunges where you're going forward, you can always stay with those walking lunges. You can also mix it up by going forward and twist, and then come back up, forward, and twist to your front side with your shoulders, your hips, and your trunk. Twist and back. So that is going to really teach you to control that rotation. So when you're running, you don't just have excessive rotation of your pelvis, you have that strong core, strong trunk stability into rotation and into anti-rotation too. The last way to strengthen your core, keeping it nice and sneaky, you won't even realize it really, is by doing what I like to call power exercises. And that really means that you're lifting a heavier weight in a fast motion. So the goal of power exercises, I like to think power exercises are like an umbrella, and under them you have power movements, and on the other side you have plyometrics. Plyometrics are like jumping in place, working on that elasticity of your ankles, shock absorption. Power exercises, you are working on the speed of the movement with a heavier weight. So yes, you are controlling the weight, but you're really working on explosive movements. And in this case, it really does work your core, because in order to move the weight quickly, you have to have good core strength. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard to move that weight. So one exercise that I love is a single arm snatch. And again, unilateral exercise, so we're working core, plus it's a power exercise, so you are working core. I would pick up a heavier weight, but I'm in training, so you can use whatever weight you want, but it should be a little challenging. So you're gonna get in a deadlift position, exhale as you come up and back down. So the power movement is me lifting that weight up with momentum from my legs over my head using my core. And I'm exhaling as I come up, which is helping to brace that core. I'm not holding my breath as I'm doing this. As you do this exercise or any power exercises, you can always just put a hand on your trunk, on your core. You'll feel yourself bracing and you'll feel that core turning on, which is exactly what we want. So I hope this was helpful so you can start to work more of that deep core and really work to stabilize your trunk and pelvis as you're running. If you have any questions, just comment them below.